lately. They took to it, and it's been a few companies that are plagiarizing my work now. It's a mixture of Google through YouTube, Twitch, and a bunch of offset subsequent companies that are claiming not to be affiliated with these companies and Microsoft. So they started altering the streaming times, such as Mob Crush. Whenever I set up my stream to start when I wanted to start, it doesn't start when it used to start. Before, they had it set up to where it would start as I toggled my menu down. Like whenever I would do this and start up the screen recording section, it gives you a countdown timer. Before, it used to start exactly at the point where it says, where it counts down after, sorry, not at the exact point, basically the exact point once it goes from 1 to 0, and then it would start. So in technicality, it was kind of like the best and most epic timing for a while. Since all these pedophiles are plagiarizing my work, they thought it would be a joke to team up against me because there's no lawyers willing to take my case, nor willing to take my word for it, regardless of what that reason is. I think it's just because I get too irritated and I don't deal with these stupid ass pedophile scum at all. And that's all I consider any attorneys, because I mean, that's all they are. For fuck's sake, dude. There's no lawyers anymore. It's nothing but a bunch of piece of shit pedophiles vying for my power of attorney since I'm the last lawyer worldwide. So that's legitimately what happens. Because I mean, if you think about it, back in the days when they had lawyers, this was back before they released American Psycho, and they tried claiming that to be the last lawyer because he protected Christian Bale from going to jail and whatnot, and that's kind of how they hide his name. Case in point, you get it, you understand it. Eventually you get to the point, and that's just what happens. So I'm going to start my broadcast slightly different, and I'm going to start setting these up so they can be edited. And if I ever do find a person to edit my videos and release them for me, then that's kind of epic. If not, whatever. For fuck's sake, I'm stuck dealing with a bunch of inadequate companies violating me of my rights and trying to claim to be on my side / for the greater good of the public. But in reality, this is just how they slowly start intertwining into your system, and then eventually kicking you, and then eventually trying to ban you from your own stuff. It's not legally possible, nor ever possible. Even if you sign over some of your assets over to a record company or production company, you still own everything regardless, through Creative Commons rights and throughout other contracts, because there's no way to really sign over your life because it's illegal regardless of the country you're in. The difference being is some of these countries will go through life and death to be able to rape you for the rest of your life, because they're like, well, that's the last of my people that I have to like rape your people through. So I mean, like, I'm gonna kill you for it. And that's basically what these countries do. That's why there's so many shit stem countries that have a bunch of outside backing that's never known, never seen, because it's basically all the other countries that have laws set in place to avoid this issue, but they're like, oh, well, maybe I could take advantage of this. Case in point, all the Middle Eastern countries, sorry. So, I mean, I'm going to start this up slightly different. Hopefully you guys enjoy the different startup, because from now on, this is just legitimately what's going to happen. Because I used to be able to time it to this next scene, real perfect, like basic, most epic timing. Welcome to the show. And it was actually, sorry, even that one was delayed. The funny part was, that timing issue only happened, the only reason I started actually saying welcome to the show, I don't mean like in general, I mean, because I mean, I'm the owner of the phrase welcome, and I mean, I'm the owner of basically this whole structure of welcoming people to to the show. So I mean, that's just kind of how it runs. So I mean, I accidentally started my game once. I mean, the way I started doing it for this game was I accidentally started my game, and I went down to my drop down menu, as you'll see right now, and the drop down menu delays the next menu from being loaded in at the normal time, and then it also delays it from starting. So I noticed this and I was like, oh, whoa, that's epic. And it goes case in point so prime with my catchphrase of welcome to the show. Or not my catchphrase, of my like broadcast, my beginning broadcast of welcome to the show. Technicality, that's why I keep it so general and broad. Even if I die again and I'm revived again, how I basically was revived for this country in order to be in this country, I will still stick to my guidelines and my basic setup. So welcome to the show, because it's a generalized statement for my show, like the opening broadcast, welcoming everyone, making sure they feel welcomed, and making sure that they have a place to be welcomed to, regardless of the place. And it's not so much a place to be welcomed to, it's just being welcomed. Like, at that point, it would offset all these countries having psychological offsets on other people, like trying to violate them of their own brain, their own thought processes, and then just watching a bunch of pedophiles roam around raping their assets, not their wives, but raping their assets. And here, the reason I say wives is because a lot of the Middle Eastern countries, the way that they gained their freedom from the world was by pointing out and proving through turbans, fuck you, bitch. Those are the original bloodlines that were given to me. That's why I have that many wives. That wife still pertains to this goddamn fucking hair. You hear me, motherfucker? Just because I don't want her walking around and me showing you what secrets we have from that bloodline does not fucking mean that I want you anywhere near me. So get the fuck out of my hair and get the fuck out of my stuff. That's legitimately why Middle Eastern people wear turbans, to avoid random people touching their fucking goddamn hair at the most inopportune moments. Supposedly cotton still has them protected. Supposedly the creation of hats or whatever people abide by, like these hat standards, have them protected and whatnot. Technically, the reason they wear turbans and or any headdress or headdressing stuff, if they take it off in public in certain places where they're not supposed to take it off, they stand to lose their hair for life and for eternity, or be killed even. I would decapitate these motherfuckers for taking off their turban in my presence, regardless of how they see my presence. I would decapitate them. I'd probably hesitate, because in this current state that I'm in, I don't always like lackadaisically. I'm so lackadaisical right now that I don't always see everything coming as I should. But case in point, I would legitimately decapitate the piece of shit for trying to violate me of my rights and trying to claim anything over me, regardless if you're going bald or not. You're a piece of shit for balding. Not me. Do you fucking hear me? Unless I ask you unless you're paying me specifically over $1 million per each hair that you require to be recovered, do not stain my eyes with your eyesore of a fucking shit-blown pedophile fucking lifestyle that you stupid ass six-eyed pedophiles tried misconstruing as my lifestyle. Just because I don't give a fuck for any of you stupid ass pedophiles doesn't mean you can misconstrue what I'm saying and use it against me. Like, for fuck's sake, just because. And the funniest part is, whenever they say anything like towards me like that, then I'm in any point where I'm like in a bad lifestyle. I'm like, wait, how is this a bad lifestyle? Now drugs are recreational use just because you stupid ass cunt pedophiles plagiarized all my goddamn fucking work and tried hiding it behind the scenes. Because I did 90% of my work, my psychological work, and 90% of my neurostem work through the use of marijuana. The reason being, it's a hallucinogen, and the reason being is because it's the placebo effect, easier to grasp and to push through these psychological aspects that are being pushed through marijuana on a regular basis. Marijuana. Sorry, I can never pronounce that word right, so I always just call it weed. Marijuana? Mary Jane? Whatever, regardless. So, I mean, I can never pronounce the word properly because I never really cared for it. But, I mean, legitimately, it's not that I never really cared for it. I never cared to really try to pronounce it the right way if I can't pronounce it the right way. It's just that damn challenging that I'll spend like 3 years in a moment of silence just trying to pronounce a fucking word. Just trying to pronounce a word. My sincerest apologies. I don't like cussing on stream, regardless of what's said and regardless of what it is. I don't like cussing in general, just due to the fact that it's considered bad words, and now I see why they're bad words. Whenever the word's implied in the wrong sense, or even said in a way that it might be implied in the wrong sense, you can understand as to why and how these words are considered bad words. Used against you or not, bad words are bad words. So, I mean, back to the point. So, I'm going to start this broadcast up just a bit right now. I mean, I would edit this whole audio part into like later on into this section, but basically, welcome to the show. That was even off on the timing. I would not even lie. I mean, it basically, this thing used to be like, and it's funny because the first time I ran this issue and ran into this glitch that it happened, and it happened so natural, I wonder if I still have the video or have the past stream, but I legitimately shit you not, I was just like, boom, this loaded. Welcome to the show. But it was like the perfect timing, like the perfect lapse, like the perfect time lapse. Like I'm like saying welcome to the show, and I'm like at the same time having a heart attack. Like whoa, bro, so epic. Cause that like pan in or like where or I mean the I forget what that effect is when they light up the logo or whatever, but they light up the logo based off of my timing as to how I say welcome to the show. So it's just like godly. I was just like I almost cried myself. I almost credited myself. Like I legitimately almost like went out and like pulled my pants down in public just to crud in the middle of everyone and just be like, "Yo, bro, that's how amazing it is. I took a legitimate fat shit all over your wife." Sorry, I'm just being a jerk. I mean, I just took the legitimate best shit of my life. Welcome to the show. See? Now they're totally messing with the timing of this. Now I can't even get it back to the point where it was before. So, I mean, it's just kind of the shocking reality, but it happens. Welcome to the show. Huh. See? Now it's just like sped up. I don't know what it is. Now it's just like skipping like 4 or 5 frames per second. So they're making the adjustments in order to try to oust me out of all my stuff. This is what happens. Welcome to the show. But I mean, I used to get it case in point, on point, every single fucking time, that it was so methodical and so epic and so amazing that it's just like, whether you cut me out or not, I'm gonna be back. I'll be back, motherfucker. I'm gonna come back with a baseball bat and I'm gonna shove it so far up your butthole that it's gonna feel like a dildo went up, and then I'm gonna punch you in the face for trying to make me feel what you can feel. And that's just part of it. I don't read any of these sick-sad shit like realities because I don't deal with these companies. They're only trying to promote shit against me. So, I mean, whether you guys like to see the truth or not, that's your fucking fault for not wanting to see the truth. Whether you lie to yourself enough to get my attention to where I knock the shit out of you, or knock your shit out of your own ass by punching you in the face so hard that you shit yourself or die, that's your own fault. I don't give a shit what you think. That's your own fault. Sorry, I mean, they tried violating me of my rights, and they tried betraying me, and they tried like passing my like reality around and my animes around, my created names and everything around. And there was finally one person that took a stand against these people. And the way he took a stand, in order to avoid taking a stand for me, but taking a stand for himself, as I teach everyone to do, he says, "My name is Saitama. I am Saitama. I am Saitama." Not One Punch Man. He disregards the fucking name to the point where he epitomizes the reality of everything that I teach. Keeping a straight face, have to have the right face for everything. And that's just the stark fucking reality behind it. I am Saitama. That's where I actually gave him a name and allowed him to have a name and to be cool in my reality. But that's just kind of the lucid dream states, astral projections, because this was all happening prior to this happening. And it was just kind of dope how it happened, to be quite honest. I mean, I don't disregard it as anything else other than what it is. Regardless if they try to consider me insane or not, for fuck's sake, bruh. I'll show you insane after I shove my baseball bat up your fucking asshole. Whether you're a guy or not, we'll see who the fuck becomes insane after I shoved my dick so far up your ass that your faggot ass thought it was a baseball bat, because of how many times you went around raping underage little girls that they just flipped the elements that your penis is made from to the fucking lacquer and the same softness that lacquer would feel like around a fucking baseball bat. So go fuck yourself, bruh. I'm just that much of a goddamn G that I'm not gonna stop. And I say it because I don't give a fuck what anyone says. You have no place to tell me what to fucking do. Whether you have more money or a fucking place against me, you have no goddamn fucking place to tell me what to do. I'll bomb your fucking place, and then we'll see where your fucking place is at. Just because that place looked like my place